Hi guys, it's Melissa from Real Estate Savvy, and today's video is another one in my series about the real estate purchase contract, otherwise known as the REPC. It's a legally binding document. It's what you use to make an offer on a home and what a seller uses to review and then either accept, reject, or make a counteroffer once they get your offer. It's a really important document. It's pretty intense, and instead of doing a really long video of every subsection of it, I've broken it up. So today's topic is about the financing deadline. The previous video was about the appraisal and due diligence deadline, which are really important. The financing deadline is huge as well. So just like with the appraisal and due diligence deadline, you designate in the contract when you're going to have your financing in place. And you designate a deadline for that you need to comply with. Now, let's say you have a situation where you have to extend things. Maybe you need to clean up your credit a little bit, or you had an extra expense and you need a little more time to come up with your down payment. This is where your agent can go in and adjust the financing deadline as long as the other side agrees. But the financing deadline means that a lender has agreed to give you a loan. So I'm going to tell you about a situation of a family member where this came into play big time. So you go in, you find a mortgage officer, you believe that you're pre-approved for a loan, and you start the whole process. You do your inspection, you do your appraisal, you think everything's ready to go. And 3 days prior to the time that you're supposed to go to the settlement table and sign paperwork for your purchase, you're supposed to be given a document by the lender that outlines all of their fees and everything that they're going to charge and that you're going to pay. Well, in order for a lender to be willing to issue that document, they have to make the final decision that yes, they're actually going to give you a loan. In the situation of my family member, 3 days before they thought that they were closing on a home, they got notified that they couldn't qualify for a loan. That was pretty big because you need a loan to buy a house. And it was a real domino effect, and I talk about it in a different video. I think I talk about it in my listing agreement video, but it was a real domino effect because they were trying to buy a home. They had someone who was trying to buy their home. The people they were trying to buy from were trying to buy a home. So this little glitch of, I'm sorry, person in the middle that's making all of these transactions happen, I'm sorry, but you can't get a loan, was a big deal. So the financing deadline says that you will have your financing in place by that date. But there is a clause. If you can't obtain a loan, it allows you to get out of the contract, which makes sense because if you can't obtain a loan, how can you buy a piece of property or a house? So this person had the option, well, we thought, they should have, let me back up. This person was told that they couldn't get a loan, and so they were going to completely pull out of everything, which would affect 2 other parties and who knows how many other people, all because the lender decided 3 days before that they couldn't get a loan. So because of that, they were going to be allowed out of their contract, which is great. They don't have to buy a home that they can't afford. But there is a catch to that. You don't just get to walk away. You give up your earnest money. And so that's where it comes into play of how much earnest money are you willing to gamble with when you write that offer? Because this person was going to be giving up several $1,000s for nothing simply because they couldn't get a loan. And then if you watch my listing agreement video, you will know that at that point, the listing agent can also say, I'm sorry, but you have to pay me even though you couldn't get a loan because I had a buyer in place that could buy your house. It's complicated. Let me just say this. You want to make sure as soon as you can that you have financing that is actually going to go through. You want to know that. You want to have confirmation. You don't want to find out 3 days ahead. If you do find out 3 days ahead, you have a way to get out, but there's a financial penalty for that. So that is the financing deadline. It's a big deal, and it's something you want to pay attention to, and you want to have your agent and anyone that they're working with be on that right from the beginning, because it would be better for you to know earlier than later. If you know before the financing deadline that the loan isn't going to go through, or there is one other catch, if you are not happy with the terms of the loan prior to the financing deadline, let's say you thought you were going to get a 3% interest rate and the lender decides no, it's going to be 5%, which means your monthly payment will be a lot bigger. If you are not happy with the terms of the loan that's being offered to you prior to the deadline, then you can back out without any penalty. But once that deadline hits, just like the other ones, there's going to be a penalty if you back out. So you want to pay attention and make sure you have enough time to get that done. That was a lot of information. I'm sorry. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment down below. I'd love to try and help you with that. And if you like these videos and they're helpful, please subscribe. Just remember, I'm a mom that got my real estate license so I could help my family find a new home. And so I'd love to teach you a few of the things that I've learned as well. So until next time, be savvy in your real estate. Bye.